What happened there, Matt? There you
I
go.
thought I had time to throw my hat on. I am so sorry because we can't have the MATT without a hat. It's just not what he does. Greetings and salutations, as one would say. That's not my line. I'm sorry. I'm just making this shit up as I go. Um,
Oh, fucks. No, that's not our line either.
what's up, fucks? No, that's not what we do here either. Um,
What is our lines?
I know we don't sit in the bathtub and do this, so we can just move on
Oh,
from there.
um,
Um, no, it's me. It's me. It's at MATT. Riding with me as always is these two assholes to my right or to my left. It's my big broski Scott and this guy down here. He says he's Free Creek or something like that. So we're just three guys that love to talk pro wrestling, give our opinions, and if you don't like it, you can just go kick rocks for all I care. I really don't. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, change channel.
while you're kicking rocks, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I don't care.
Yeah. before you go kick rocks, subscribe and like
channel.
and share.
Do me a favor, click like and share this, then go kick rocks.
Yeah. Matter
Be
of
a
fact,
friend, tell a friend.
I'll give you a link to go kick rocks at.
And while you're kicking those rocks, if you find any good ones, send them my way because my wife collects them. Anyway, Night of Champions, fellas. Night of Champions was last Saturday. Afternoon of Champions.
Yeah, more like afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what you guys think? I mean, we can run down the card. The card wasn't all that fat. Like there was 6 matches. Cody and Randy. We'll start with that. What did you guys think about that?
Go ahead, Huge Pop.
What was there not to like about that? I mean, you had probably arguably two of the legends of the game in there, and they did everything they could do to put on a show. You hate to see Orton lose because he's just as good of a legend as Cody Rhodes will be. I would arguably say that was probably one of the best matches of the night. I would say that. That's what would be my pick as far as that. I mean, it had everything: the RKO, the Crossroads. It was a match like I don't know. It's just great, Yeah, and everything Cody Rhodes in an Orton match would have. I even think the hesitations were the storytelling. You know what I'm saying? That was excellent. But yeah, I thought it was a great match. I think, but again, I really think that was the match of the night.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we actually watched that together, and that was the one match that really just I paid attention to the whole thing, and it's one of those where this is where you talked about it before. You had both of them are faces. You had 2 good faces going against each other, and they put on one hell of a match. And that's what I love is like. It doesn't happen all the time, don't need to happen all the time, but once in a while, it's nice to have 2 of them go against each other. No hostility towards one another. They're going for the main prize, and that's all it is. And they put on one hell of a show. They told the story in the ring.
Now that match had everything. It had glimpses of Cody showing that he wants to be a heel. He wasn't clean meat or white meat babyface like we've seen. He was doing everything that he could and wanted to do to win that match. He wants to be champion again. And he's willing to put away his mentor from the legacy days. He's willing to do that. He's willing to sacrifice his brotherhood / friendship for that. And how deep will that go before he does finally snap and turn heel? I think that's there was a lot going on with that. And again, these are just my opinions. That's how I saw it. The match did have everything, like you said. It had the RKO. I thought I really, part of me being, I love Cody. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a Randy Orton guy from like way back, and I really was hoping that Randy would get that punt.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Something that like I was like, oh, almost like he's right there, but the right guy won because it sets up for Cena, Cody at SummerSlam now, which is perfectly fine. But yeah. So
we'll see that heel turn once Cena leaves, or right at the very end.
Yeah, I agree. Next up, we got Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez, or the match that I called the nap match because I fell asleep during that match. I thought the match was boring.
Well,
I mean, I know you love yourself some mommy. I know you're a big Rhea.
not really, honestly.
that match had nothing for me. Like it was, in my opinion, it was just slow, boring, and had no flair for anything. It just didn't do anything for me.
No, I respect Rhea. I think she's great in the ring, but like you said, that match, that was my get up and go get stuff done, get snack, whatever match right there. I did pay attention to it, me and Huge Bob were chatting and stuff, and but it wasn't something that kept my attention. Like I was like, oh, I got to see this.
Yeah.
Right. I think I wanted more. I wanted more brutal. Don't get me wrong; they beat the piss out of each other. I'm not saying that, but I wanted something different.
Well, it was a street fight. Where was the gratuitous violence? I wanted more. Like you said, right. Scott, I wanted more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If there would have been any kind of match that had any interference, you'd have thought that would be that one. It just didn't come through for me.
You remember back in the day when you would get street fight, like it was actually outside in the street. That's where it would end up. Getting body slammed or suplex on top of a car. Those are the good old street fights.
Well, the table spot was just weird. The table spot was weird. Like, why are you setting up a table in the corner on the top rope
to jump off of?
Yeah, to me that's stupid.
Like
if that was botched, and I know Chris Jericho hates that word botch, but if they screwed that up, both ladies would have potentially broken their friggin' neck. Yeah. And losing two women now would not be something that you want to do. I thought that was a little reckless. It reminded me of AEW. Like all the shit that we talk about AEW, well, these men and women. What's going on, Duelist? How you doing today? These men and women over in WWE are starting to take liberties and do some of the stupid stuff that we complain about over in AEW. But
I think, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But the people who that are fans in the WWE ate it up and be like, yeah, we love that. But if someone over in AEW does it, that's trash. That's just indie bullshit. Like, come on.
I think, leading into the women's pay-per-view here in a couple weeks, you would have thought that there would have been more. And that's why I say more storylines brewing up. Something different with Evolve just around the corner. And it just didn't work for me.
No, that's where I was just going to say, it's like you have the pay-per-view coming up. This is only the second women's only pay-per-view. PLE, sorry. Yeah. Freaking people want to criticize that. I'm old school. I still say pay-per-view. Um, but like there's no building of the stories for this pay per view. I don't see a lot of that going on. It just for being the second one ever, you would feel there would be a bigger build up for them.
So next up, we had, of course, Rhea won that one, and that set up for, in my opinion, the match or one of the matches of the night. Like this match was one of my favorites. The pop for Sami Zayn when he came out was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross. Scott, what do you think about this?
Finally, that pop was awesome. That pop was crazy good. Let's talk about the haluva kick that he gave Karrion Kross at the end. Oh. I don't ever want to be on the receiving end of that. Now, right. It was a fun match, but they're at this point, when we were talking last week, Karrion Kross needs to push. Sami Zayn could use the push, doesn't really need to push. They put on a banger of the match. Kross showed me absolutely everything that he needed to show me. It was the internet, and people are saying it was an upset, which I don't know if I'd call it an upset. I think that match was well drawn out, well done, and it was brutal, beat down, and it was just everything. I mean, Karrion Kross performed excellent. Scarlett was there; she looked excellent. But of course, I had to give Ricco some tissue because his boy lost, and he couldn't get over himself because his boy lost. So I loved it. Sami Zayn is who I picked to win it. Again, I think Karrion Kross probably needed to win more than Sami Zayn did. But I'm not the booker, and I don't write it, and I'm not going to bitch about how they booked it because that's not who I am. I liked the match. It was pretty good. What about you, Sam? What about you, Ricco?
Oh yeah, yes, I was sad that Karrion lost, man, and that was one of my favorite. It was up there as probably right up there with the Cody and Randy match, just because. Don't get me wrong, Cody and Randy match was great, but I love the show that Karrion and Sami put on, and just the storytelling they did before the match, like not before, but weeks before. This has been building up, and it's about time Karrion got put on a PLE, and Scarlett, of course, I would say Scarlett's my favorite female in WWE, and Karrion's freaking right there with Seth Rollins as my favorite wrestler. People dog Seth, I don't care, he's still my favorite. But anyways, the match was good. I loved it. I really thought that Karrion not necessarily needed the win, but man, you got to give him something. It just seems like he keeps getting buried, and you give him that itch and build him up, and he gets knocked right back down.
Now, this match, and when you say that Karrion Kross deserves a push, there are ways to push someone and they lose. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be a winner. You don't have to win every week to get the push. You can go on one hell of a long losing streak and you're still being pushed, which is fine. And I think that Karrion Kross is one who doesn't need to win to be successful. And I know that sounds like an oxymoron at this point, but in my opinion, he's not a guy who needs to win. He's not a guy who needs a title. He gets himself over with his promos and his backstage stuff, and like he's relevant regardless if he's on a 100-match losing streak. He's still relevant because his character is so intriguing. His character work is amazing.
Yeah, I freaking love the guy, man. He does amazing work.
And to backtrack, this is something I love looking at, and I'm going to sound like Cody Cornett for just a second. Shout out to Cody. Hopefully, he's having a great Wednesday evening. Something I like to do is like after a pay-per-view, look at the people who produce those matches. You know what I mean? Like the King of the Ring final was produced by Sean Davari. Everyone knows who Davari is. He's a former cruiserweight guy. He produced that one. He's a producer backstage. He was the guy behind the scenes for that match itself. The street fight between Rhea and Raquel was Molly Holly and Jamie Noble. They both produced that match. You can see shades of both of those people in that match, which it explains a lot what happened. This one was produced by Chris Park, which is Abyss.
Okay.
And he's starting to become a really, really good producer backstage. He's starting to show his worth, and I'm so happy he's part of the staff in the back. But yeah, as far as Sami Zayn being an underdog, I call bullshit. Sami Zayn's not an underdog at this point. He's a guy who, in the future, should be a world champion. It doesn't necessarily mean the WWE championship, but I really think that he should have what Jay and Gunther has had. I mean, he's beaten Gunther for the IC title. Let him beat Gunther for the big one. So that's mine on that. The next one we have the Queen of the Ring final, Asuka and Jade Cargill. Reek, we know you love some Jade. What do you think about this match?
I like the match, man. It wasn't as great as I had very high expectations for it. And that's just me personally. It wasn't as high energetic as I thought it was going to be, but it was still good. I'm not knocking it. I liked it. It was a good match. Shout out to freaking Jade. You did your thing. But all in all, I liked how they told the story in that match. That's what I really look for in a match. You want to like, is somebody just throwing a match together? They're actually trying to tell a story in the match. And I liked how they worked together. Asuka just freaking, it's Asuka, man. She's great. She's great. That's the only complaint I have. It didn't. I guess I wanted it to be up there, probably as one of the matches of the night.
Scott, what said you?
This wasn't your popcorn match.
Yes.
That's what I'm going to say.
Let me tell you, Cargill, Asuka, two of the probably best women in their division. I have mad respect for Cargill. Cargill looks like a beast. I called her. She looked like Storm. I loved her get up. I loved her white house. That was
freaking.
That was sick as shit. Asuka, man, what can you say? She is a legend. If she doesn't make Hall of Fame, WWE's stupid. I love her character. I love her passion about the business. And my God, Cargill is ripped to shit. Looks good, moves good. She has came from like when she first came into WWE over here. She's made leaps and bounds. She's made so many good impressions, so many good changes. I think she's amazing. I think that match was amazing. How do you pick a winner? That for me, this was the topic of conversation while watching it. Was how do you pick a winner? You want both of them to win. I love both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the right person. Asuka doesn't need to win. She's going to go on and make waves, and it's going to be good. But I think Asuka and Jade Cargill, strong. It was a strong Queen of the Ring final, and I'm happy with it. Man, but Cargill is one strong woman.
She really just, that's the Amazon chick right there.
I would bet to say she's more of a badass than Rhea Ripley. I'll just leave it there.
Okay.
Popcorn man.
So,
No, I was saying popcorn man. I believe he said this was his popcorn match.
no, not me.
Oh, I thought you said that. Sorry. I thought you did.
No, my popcorn match, and I fell asleep during the Rhea Ripley match. I thought that match was a yawn fest. Now, this match was put together by Petey Williams. I don't know if you guys remember Petey. He's been in the business for a while. He's another producer that's really starting to put his mark on everything, which is really cool for him. I thought this match had everything that the men's match had. It told the story. Asuka is that veteran who, man, it's hard to root for against her. She's in the best shape of her life right now, but it was almost it. I wouldn't say that Jade is more of a badass than Rhea. It's a different vibe. Rhea carries herself differently. Like Rhea is one that's going to rip out your throat and shove it down your just it's going to rip off your arm and beat you with it. Jade's just one of those people who will just dominate in a different way. I would act. Jade is more of an Asuka than as far as her dominance. Jade's more Asuka than Rhea, because it's just Rhea is, like I said, just Rhea. It's hard to compare her to anybody else because there hasn't been another one of her ever. Like the closest thing that we had to Rhea was Paige, and because they had that just they didn't care attitude, they had that punk rock just screw you, I'm going to do it my way attitude. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you. Nothing but love to you and all the people at the Uncensored Society podcast over on their YouTube or their Twitch stream. If you get a chance, watch them. They're really good people. Thanks, I give shout outs to the people who deserve shout outs and come and support us each week, not those fake individuals that call themselves fans and friends. But we will get to that here in a little bit. But I loved the match. I thought it was entertaining and definitely something we're going to see. It's the writing's on the wall now. It's going to be Jade and who's the
Tiffy.
Probably
Jade.
It'll be Jade and Tiffy at SummerSlam, and I guarantee you can put. I am willing to put money on this. Naomi will try to attempt to cash in, and she will be the first woman to fail at cashing in the Money in the Bank.
I agree with you on that one. I was thinking about that, and I said, I can see either Tiffy or Jade winning and Naomi trying to get involved and cash in, and she fails.
Yeah.
Now, when you fail, you're done, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Unless you're freaking Austin Theory and try to cash in 20 times, and Vince like, oh no, that didn't count. We'll just
Yeah. No. I didn't cash in yet.
or like Santino Marella in the Royal Rumble. I wasn't ready.
Wasn't ready.
Oh, that was great.
Trying to
The
find
main
something.
event rolls around. This match, by the way, was produced by Bobby Roode. Talk about the it factor, Bobby Roode. The Glorious One himself is doing a tremendous job backstage, and Triple H really giving him the ball to take and run with it, which is really cool to see. And letting him be the main event guy, and he was the only producer for the main event. Usually they go Bobby Roode and someone else, or they usually run two people. But this time it was just Bobby Roode, and he was in charge of it, and he got the job done. I mean, look, I'm a Punk fan. Everyone knows I love CM Punk. That match had everything that you could ever want out of a CM Punk John Cena match. That match was so much fun for me to watch. I loved it.
No, and I hate to say it, I gotta agree with you. The match was great. It really was great. For me, the ending is what killed me. But all in all, the match was good. Punk's just punk freaking. I mean, you got both of these Hall of Famers, and I say Hall of Famers because they are Hall of Famers. Freaking both of them is putting on a show, and it goes back to 10, 12 years ago, 13 years ago. And it's just freaking awesome how they bring that out of each other. Not on the level, but almost to the level of like a Stone Cold and The Rock, bringing that out of each other. Huge Pop, you want to rant?
No. Well, yeah, kind of, sort of, but no. I wish. Here's just my wish. They would have saved the CM Punk Cena till the end. I don't know how WWE is going to beat what they just did the last 2 weeks and this match. If I haven't seen anything but gold this last 2 weeks with Cena and Punk, I don't think they can do it. I'm talking, just for instance, this. That
was freaking awesome.
They're bringing it back.
Yeet.
They're bringing it back, right? Because that same thing that we seen that night, that happened with that same ref years ago. Okay, you came down and it was yes. Then you have CM Punk getting punked out by John Cena with the pipe bomb. Then you have fucking Punkonomics come out and
God, that was hilarious.
John Cena, and oh my God, what better people to do that with? And they were gold on the mic. And I don't give a fuck what everybody else on the IWC says, because everybody was hating on that, and I'm like, how do you hate gold like that? That was nuts. And there are people bitching about it. When Punk came out as stuck on Punkonomics, you should have heard the IWC, the people on the internet. They were pissed. How can they be pissed at that?
Because unfortunately, you got some of those that are living in their mom's basement, eating pizza rolls, 600 pounds, talk about they can do it better.
Yeah, and oh my God, story after story after story after layers and layers and layers. Cena almost He is getting so close to turning face. He is. I mean, oh my God. That's all I got to say about that match. Everything I wanted to see, except for I wish he would have dropped the belt that night. But you're not going to do it yet. It's too soon. And I'm afraid, I mean, I said it before. I said it when the story got finished. Cody Rhodes and Cena before SummerSlam, they're not going to come close to that. Because let me finish. They're gonna CM Punk and CM Punk and Cena did it by themselves. The only way I see that Cody Rhodes and Cena will be better is if you insert some jabroni jackass, and unfortunately, that's what you're gonna get, or something stupid. I just love that. I've loved the last 2 weeks of Raw and SmackDown, except I didn't love this Raw that just happened, but I loved everything about that lead up to that match, and that match was fire.
So hear me out. John Cena, as much, and it's gonna make me sound like a Cena mark or Stan or whatever. John Cena's not gonna lose the championship. He's not gonna lose the championship, but he's going to have to hand it over to Paul Levesque or The Rock or whatever. He's gonna do that at the end, and that will create the first time since 1992 that the winner of the Royal Rumble will be. No, I'm sorry. Back it up, because I believe Roman Reigns had to defend his title in that one Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
But the winner of the Royal Rumble will be the crown the new champion at the point. There won't be a title. There won't be a champion going into that. I think that the Royal Rumble will be the winner of the Rumble will be your new WWE champion. I think John's gonna leave like he told everyone, because everything that he's said to us, and again, I'm gonna sound like I'm the Big John, and I'm wearing the shirt so it's fitting. He's telling us step by step what is going to happen, and it's happening. This is his way of ruining professional wrestling. He is telling us, hey, listen, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to beat the best in the world. Now I've beaten the best in the world. I'm going to go to SummerSlam and beat Cody Rhodes. Then I'm going to go to Survivor Series or whatever next event that he's at, win there. I'm going to go to the last event of the year, win there, and go home with the championship as the last real WWE champion. He's telling us what he's going to do, and he's going to execute it. Because what do us as wrestling fans hate the most? We hate spoilers. Guess what? Cena's pretty much spoiling wrestling right now. Right? I mean,
I will say this. I thought I would hate it, but
I love it.
This is. I remember you guys remember? I was so pissed off.
Oh, I was too.
When Cena did that, but once you're in it, man. And I've heard people talking. I hope this doesn't happen. Well, do you think he'll dethrone Solo Sikoa to win that belt so he can have the Triple Crown, so he can win everything and go home with everything?
He won't leave with the U.S. title.
You don't think so?
And he's already won the U.S. title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The IC championships. The IC is the only one that he's never won.
And who has that?
That is.
Oh shoot! Who does have the IC title right now? It's Dom.
Yeah.
Dom.
Okay. So I'm sorry. Is it possible? Then does it make sense that he
No.
would win that title off Dom and have them all say that, hey, look, guys, I have it.
I don't think so. I don't think that's something that they want to do. I really don't.
I don't know. But no, I think that match was badass. I think that was
Mm-hmm.
nuts.
Um, do you have anything you'd like to talk about, Reek? Anything that you've seen in the last week that you might want to get off your chest, good, bad, or indifferent, in the world
Well,
of wrestling?
I kind of my thing is I've already kind of stressed the whole carrying cross, like that's really bugging me. Um, the other thing that's kind of really bugging me is because, like I mentioned it earlier, he is my favorite wrestler, but I'm not fully into this faction. I'm just not, and I'm trying so hard to be because that's my dog, and it's bugging me because it's I'm not feeling it. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, but I'm not feeling it at all. What do you guys think about that group, man? 'Cause that's what I was going to ask you. That I just it messes with me. Like I don't like this.
Plan B. I have my ideas about what Plan B is. I think Plan B is going to be either Ricky Saint or Ethan Page. I think one of
Cool.
those two guys will end up being Plan B, um, because they just both fit the mold. Um, but I honestly think now that Cena has essentially screwed over Seth Rollins for the cash in, as he should, because he's the champion. I think Seth Rollins is going to start targeting John Cena. And I think it's going to be a build, a build, a build until later on this year.
Yeah, see, I don't. This is just my thought. I don't see like I get what you're saying because he did kind of screw him over originally. Like Seth said, he didn't go there to cash in. He wanted to keep his promise. CM Punk was not winning that title, and that was it. But at the end there, like he was like really like man, kind of looking at that briefcase like, huh, here's a chance, and freaking here comes Cena. But I really see him cashing that in on Gunther or whoever beats Gunther. I'll say that.
And if it's Bill Goldberg, I'm going to be livid.
We talked about this huge pop the other day, and with everything in my heart, I don't think Goldberg should win. And it's no disrespect to him, his reputation, nothing. I just don't think it makes sense. But it's Goldberg, and I see them putting a title on him. I just and
I Plan B. I think. Well, first of all, let's go back to we missed one thing. Solo Sikoa
Oh, yes.
beating Fatu. All brakes, yeah, all gas, no brakes. I love that guy. And holy hell, Hikalea, that's a monster. And I'm not really enthused, in my opinion. Sorry. I've never liked Solo Sikoa as a champion, and I think it's dumb. But it is what it is. I think he's shit. He needs to be a goon in the back. He did better being and without he was better shutting his mouth when he was part of the bloodline. I hate him as a leader. That didn't make sense to me. I hated that. I hate that. But whatever. Plan B, though, I have a feeling that someone's going to attack Seth Rollins with that chair, just like he was the one that attacked Roman Reigns with the chair. That's going to be Plan B. I have a feeling you're going to see an explosion of that stupid faction that you have, which makes no sense to me. I hate that. You got a bunch of goofballs running around that should be after titles already that are just kicking people's asses. And I don't know that I don't know. I've never been. I don't know. It's just weird to me. I hate that. I hate Seth Rollins and his buddies. Then you're gonna add Ricky Saints or Ethan Page to that. It's gonna be a clown. It's gonna be a clown fest. I'm not gonna be a fan of that. I want Goldberg to beat Gunther so Seth Rollins can cash in on that title. Please, Seth Rollins, stay out of the Bloodline story. You suck. That's my rant.
So this is the part where I asked Scott a question.
Go ahead.
So you hate Seth Rollins. You hate him, right? Just yes or no. That's all you got to do.
I cannot stand him.
You
can't. He's doing his job.
Mute him, Matt.
He's doing his job because he's making you hate him for no reason. Like you can't you sat there and you're like, I hate his laugh, I hate his voice, blah blah.
He's stagnant. It's old. It's the same old shit. Same old stuff.
He's been too much glue, man. He's been sniffing too much.
He's old. But and if Samu is watching this, I apologize. It's no disrespect to you or the Enowahi family, but acknowledge me. Come on. I got old too. You know what I mean?
No, it did not because
but it did.
It was relevant.
It was relevant. Every week. Every week that he came out, he would acknowledge me. So what? So what if Seth Rollins comes out and he does this each week? He's getting a reaction out of you. He's making Reek happy because he loves Seth Rollins. He's making all the haters hate him more because of his cocky arrogance. He is honestly currently the best professional wrestler from start to beginning in the business today.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit that, my record button. Can you say that one more time?
We say you can wrestle a mop.
You wrestle a mop. I heard that.
Did he really mute you?
Yeah, he muted me. All right, whatever.
No, but you're missing a point. You're missing the point. If Seth Rollins is relevant, and if Seth Rollins is as good as he says he is, or as good as you say he is, then do something different than trying to repeat the one, the gold, the GOAT, Roman Reigns. That's all he's doing. But he's missing the boat because they're not utilizing Paul Heyman like they're supposed to be. I'll be honest with you, he is overshadowing Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. They're not allowed to do their shit that they should be doing. Braun Breaker's again, just like Cody Rhodes, he again is not being able to do his shit. Because why? Because he's wearing a black suit, and all he's doing is running around the ring and blowing into people. No, he ought to have a fucking title run. He ought to be in there. But now we're gonna put him with Seth frickin' Rollins. You're not letting Paul Heyman speak. You're not doing that. You're not utilizing the GOAT of managers like you're supposed to. He stands back there. He hasn't said 5 words, and he's doing the same damn thing. He's like, if you're going to do it, do something different And then you got this Joker. And don't get me wrong, Seth Rollins, yeah, you can wrestle. He can wrestle a mop and make a mop look good. I'm saying this. All I'm saying is the faction sucks. They're not doing it the way they should be. He is now in a fact. He might as well have stayed by himself. Honestly,
Well,
he might as well have stayed by himself. I guess that's what I'm saying. Seth Rollins, or maybe he's not trash as a wrestler, but the faction, they're not utilizing those three guys that I just named the way they should.
No, and that's what I was saying. The faction is what bugs the hell out of me. And one thing that you said, Scott, and the freaking Paul Heyman, you have one of the best speaking managers of all time, and you don't let him talk.
No.
You need that guy to talk, man. And Seth don't need him to talk for him. That's the difference, I guess. But if he's on your team, let him shine and do what he does best.
Okay.
I don't know.
You want to call them? Here's maybe this is again just my viewpoint on this whole thing. It's not in my opinion, it's not a faction.
Hey, okay, I'll
it's not a faction. It is Seth Rollins and his bodyguards. Because a faction, again, my opinion, a faction to me has the leader and a tag team behind them, or a leader, and that's typically how wrestling. And then, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, if you're watching this, I'm going to mansplain a little bit here. Okay, I'm going to dumb it down for the people who might be watching this. Be like, I don't understand. A faction is usually a leader and then a tag team. That's typically how it goes. Because you look at, say, Evolution had Triple H, and his two guys were Randy and Batista. Legacy, Randy, Ted DiBiase, and Cody. The Bloodline, Roman and the Usos. Hulk Hogan, when he was the NWO, had him, Hall and Nash, the Outsiders. DX, DX was a tandem. They weren't a faction until Shawn left, and then it was Triple H and the New Age Outlaws, and then they added X-Pac. So it was just, as you can see, all the good factions. Four Horsemen, another one. It was Ric Flair, Arn, and Tully. It's always a leader and a tag team. In this situation, it is a leader and two henchmen. And Paul Heyman is more important in his non-speaking role than he ever was with Roman. The only reason Roman needed Paul Heyman was because his mic skills, and again, my opinion, his mic skills was straight booty cheeks. It was bad. Roman Joseph Anoa'i cannot speak to save his soul. He couldn't. Period. His promo skills suck. They were worse than Hogan. Hogan can't speak either. I say all that to come back to Paul Heyman. He is the mastermind behind Seth Rollins, his next move. But at the same time, he's going to be the biggest downfall of Seth Rollins as well. He will always find the next big thing. Paul Heyman, like you said a little bit ago, the greatest manager of this era, and possibly the top three managers of all time. He's right there with Bobby Heenan and Captain Lou Albano. He's right there with Mr. Fuji, Paul Bearer, those guys. He is in rarefied air. Paul Heyman, tremendous. But Seth Rollins is not in a faction. He is the leader of his
security group.
Yeah, he has a security detail. That's all it is. Because
I don't.
Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed have not tagged before, and they won't. They're there to make sure Seth Rollins wins. And that sucks because I love Braun Breaker. I think he's getting hosed on this deal. I really do. I wish they would have gotten someone else to be that guy. Bronson Reed, I can give a shit less about. I think he sucks. I really do. I'm not a Braun Breaker. Or I'm not a Bronson Reed guy. I think he sucks.
My personal opinion, I really thought they should have picked someone up like Austin Theory, someone who'd be good, like you said, as a tag team with somebody.
Yeah, well, it just doesn't make sense to me. I do agree with you. It's a bodyguard thing. It doesn't make sense to me. I hope we see Paul Heyman screw Seth Rollins over. I really do. Yes, give him the title, build a storyline, bring your big dog back. I have a feeling he'll be back with Roman Reigns. I really do. I think they're. I just don't think. Maybe I misspoke. Maybe it's not Seth Rollins. It's just I don't like. But now that you explain it, that it's not a faction, that makes sense to me. But we're wasting talent then.
Mm-hmm.
We're wasting. We need a tag team to come in. If you're going to make this a faction, make it a tag team to come in and get rid of Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Let them loose. Let them go do what they need to do. But they're in that storyline now, and how do you get rid of them? How do you get them out of the storyline? How do you exit them? That's the problem.
So, Scott, what's your hot topic for the week? What you have any questions that you want to ask? Do you have any statements of things that you've seen this week that you want to share or talk about?
Well, I fell back on TV here.
I'm excited for where Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast is going. I like our show on Wednesday nights. We have some good guests coming up. Tomorrow night is Samu. Should I play this before I continue talking, Matt? You sent me this.
Go ahead.
Play it.
We're good, bro. You can go. You don't have to. You can hang around. Still great, but you can go. We're all good here.
That's my opinion on Bill Goldberg.
I love it.
That's awesome.
That's like a perfect answer.
Goodbye.
You're good, bro.
We're good here. We're good.
I already hit on. I liked what I wish they would have kept Cena and Punk as the last, but they didn't do that. So whatever. I don't know. It's just I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have anything, to be honest with you. Yeah. I can. Well, I can. I try to stay off the social media stuff because. Oh yeah. Okay, I got it. I get you have to give your people breaks. This is just. I had to stay off social media because I want to watch Friday Night SmackDown. As much as I want to watch Friday Night SmackDown, I don't give two shits about watching this Friday Night SmackDown now. And people warn, you get warnings on TikTok, you get warnings everywhere else. Don't watch this unless you want to have spoilers. Blah 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 blah. We got spoilers, and I get it. It's a holiday weekend. I get it. They get family, and I love that fact. They get family. And the wrestlers get to hang out with their families, etc. But I wish we were back in the '90s and '80s, where, to be honest with you, where you didn't have dirt sheets and you had to wait till the next Monday night or WCW or Wednesday, whatever. Not the like nowadays it sucks. It's hard to be a fan. It's not hard to be a fan, but it's hard to stay away from social media long enough to not have everybody show video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't have that surprise element anymore. It's not like, you'd sit there and be like, oh, wow, this person just came back. That is awesome.
Right.
You know at least 2 weeks in advance because somebody's throwing it online, like, oh, this person's coming back or she's coming back, blah, blah, blah.
But what I'll say this though, that's my fault as far as why I see the spoilers. I could have stayed off this. I could have. So I'm gonna take my blame and say, yep, I should have stayed off internet. I didn't. I chose not to. It's not their fault. It's my fault.
So we have issues with the internet. You have issues with them putting spoilers out there. I have issues with the IWC in general.
I was waiting for it.
I know I'm going to sound like a broken record. Now, in the group chat, the four of us, I made the comment that I liked the pay-per-view itself. It's the IWC I have an issue with. And of course, Ricco saw that's coming. He said what he said. He said, where do you watch the IWC? He had jokes. So that's fine. And I said it's everywhere. It's the internet wrestling community is a bunch of hold on, let me look at you. Let me look at the IWC when I'm talking to I said the internet wrestling community is a bunch of smart marks who need to just shut up and enjoy the show. They're constantly complaining and critiquing the product instead of just watching it for what it is. And that's a freaking TV show about professional wrestling. Seriously, people. You're not Dave Meltzer. You're not Sean Ross Sapp. You're not any of those kind of people. You're not Chris Van Vliet. You can have your opinions, yes, but do not berate, belittle, or tear down the product to the point where you're making yourself angry. Why? Why would you do that? Are you a glutton for punishment at this point? Like, do you enjoy just rage baiting yourself to the point where, I don't know, you just lose your shit and you feel like it's necessary to go on every social media and complain until the cows come home? Does that bring you joy? Because if it does, brother, sisters, I want your world problems. Because I got problems that far precede the world of professional wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, I want your life problems. If all you are consumed with is how shitty the product is, and then you get so enraged because it's such a horrible thing. You know what I mean? Like, why are we doing this to yourself? Why are you doing this to yourself? It makes zero sense to me. It doesn't. There's other worldly issues that are far more important than a fictional character-driven television show about professional wrestling. Clip it, whatever you want to do with it. throw it on TikTok, share it with anyone who you think I'm targeting, because I'm not targeting anybody. I'm targeting every one of you. 2 years ago, someone said, "Hey, Matt, you should turn heel." Well, guess what? I just may. I am done being the dude. Well, it's okay. You can have your opinion, but just don't think that your opinion is better than mine, better than Scott's, or better than Ricco, or anyone else for that matter. State your opinion and don't shit on anyone else's. I'm going to steal a line. It's kind of my thing now. I'm going to steal everyone's lines. One of the coolest dudes I've met on TikTok, his name's Will Gray. If you know him, tell him I said what's up, because I haven't talked to him in a while. I miss that dude. Great dude. He's actually from Tennessee. Great, tremendous dude. And he's also the guy over on Botch Spots and Chair Shots. He's the leader over there. So again, follow him. Go check out that group. They do a great job over there. Again, I will shout out the people who actually give a shit and check in on us and support us. Now, he has always said, and I kind of coined this as well with him. I kind of took this from him. Don't yuck other people's yums. Just because I think CM Punk is an amazing talent doesn't give, and Scott doesn't, or Ricco doesn't. If you've noticed, I'm probably the only Punk fan here. So, with that being, hardcore Punk fan, Punk guy. I'm the only Punk's got to win kind of guy. But these two and Nikki D, they don't shit on me for it. They're like, okay. They might give me shit about Punk, about Phil, about Pepsi Phil, or whatever the hell people want to call him. Then that's fine. Rib me a little bit, but don't tell me that my opinion is wrong. Don't tell me that my opinion is shit. That's not how this works. And my last thing before I completely go off the rails, I'm going to pose this question. Have you sat back? People will, and this will give me heat with anyone from Wrestle Talk if they watch this. Do you understand this comment when I make this? It's just a yes or no question answer. Do you understand when I say I love Hulk Hogan, but I hate Terry Bollea? Do you understand that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's what us as fans, in my opinion, have to be able to differentiate the two. Because Hulk Hogan, the wrestler, is what created what we watch now. Hulk Hogan, the character that you saw each week on Saturday morning or whenever you watched it on the pay-per-views, was wholesome, all-American, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and never give up kind of stuff like John Cena. Terry Bollea is the scumbag. And that's period. That's period. And that's that. And people have to understand that these people are people. They make mistakes. Just like you. Just like everyone that watches pro wrestling, that live in their mom and dad's basement eating their Funyuns and drinking their Mountain Dew Code Red or whatever the hell they want to do. You're not perfect. You do not know how to run $1 million company or $1 trillion company. You don't. Because if you did, you'd be there.
Exactly.
I did. I follow this lady, this young lady. And she said something this week on her social medias that made a whole hell of a lot of sense. And I wish, I mean, maybe there's more out there that got it. And I thought she was spot on. Her name is Wheezy. Matt knows who that I'm talking about.
Oh, Wheezy?
Yep.
Yeah, Wheezy's awesome.
Mad respect for Wheezy. She said in a post, in a TikTok post, she pointed out, she said, reason, how do you succeed in 2025? And I've never heard it said this way. Stop doing what you did. Stop doing what you've been doing since 2019. 6 years we all came together making videos on TikTok. Some were bitching, some were funny, some were complaining. Now it's gotten out of hand. That shit don't work anymore. You think it works, you clout chasers. You're not gonna, and she said it, in order to succeed going forward, and she's pretty smart. She's pretty active in the wrestling world, in sports with the Detroit Lions, etc. I think that girl knows what she's talking about. She's a content creator, and that's basically what she was saying about content creators. You have to find your niche and make it yours, because now it's time. You're not doing anything. You should not do anything like everybody else. And I think too many people are trying to do what everybody else. We want to be reacting, and that made me think. Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. We don't do what everybody else does. I don't know. So that made a lot of sense what she said. So mad props to Wheezy. She's honest. She'll tell you how it is. And that's one thing I took away from a content creator. That's what I got out, from this week. So, but yeah. I can say this, huge Pop Wrestling fans, we have this guy on tomorrow. If everything goes as well as planned. I hate saying a video because I want to make a video. I chatted with this guy yesterday. He said yes. And I think the one question I'm going to ask him, this might take up the whole time. Do you agree with Rikishi's statements regarding Jey Uso losing the belt? That might take a minute.
It'll take most of the time right there.
No, but I'm looking forward to that show. So, well, guys, Matt, you gonna send us off?
And remember, guys, I asked this question. Do we have your attention now? But remember, Huge Pop Wrestling is always for life.
For life.